So let's talk about Ime Udoka and what he's doing for the Houston Rockets. And I love where this team is heading. We look at Amen Thompson, who looks like a guy who has unlimited potential. His upside is superstar or a really good role player on a championship level team. That's the ceiling for Amen Thompson. I think it's more superstar than it is third option, in my opinion, because I love his defense. I think his offense will catch up eventually. And I think Amen's going to be really good for a long time. And then you look at the stretch that Houston went through where they lost 11 of their 17 games. After they beat the Celtics, they went through a slump. And Amen Thompson, he missed the previous 6 games this month. They decided, you know what, let's go ahead and win 9 in a row before losing recently to the Nuggets. They're up by 17 last time I checked against Atlanta Hawks tonight. And that's impressive because it's a young basketball team learning how to win, having the expectations to perform night in and night out in the Western Conference. Last year, they were battling. They made a late push for the play-in. They didn't make it. Jalen Green had a really good March. And the Rockets are still figuring out who is the true number one option on this team because Jalen Green, he could be really good at times. There's moments where he's not so good. So they're figuring out, is Jalen Green going to be the guy going forward? I mean, Thompson, we just talked about his unlimited potential. Sengun is like a baby Jokic. He's averaging 19 points, 10 rebounds, 5 assists a night. So I love what I'm seeing from Houston. And Ime Udoka deserves a ton of credit for getting them in the second seed in the Western Conference. A young basketball team who has a lot of upside and who knows what they're going to do in the playoffs. They are playing with house money. There are going to be people who are going to pick against them, especially in the first round. I'm not going to pick against them. I had the Timberwolves at one point, but the way Minnesota's playing right now, I know Anthony Edwards would be the best player in that series. At the end of the day, though, I don't trust Julius Randle. They lack playmaking. I think Houston will probably knock them out of 5 or 6 games. That's just how I see it because you look at the way Houston plays defense. You have veteran leadership in Jeff Green, Van Fleet. You also have Dylan Brooks. You've got some playoff experience. A guy in Van Fleet who won an NBA championship with the Toronto Raptors. Dylan Brooks has been in the playoffs with the Memphis Grizzlies. Of course, Jeff Green was on the Nuggets team who won the finals. So they've got a good mix of young guys who've never been in the playoffs and vets on this team. So I'm excited to see what the Rockets do because let's just say they make the Western Conference Finals. That's a huge success. Let's just say they get bounced out in the second round, a tough 7-game series. They get to a game 7 and the experience catches up to them. No shame in that whatsoever because this offseason, they are going to pursue big-time superstars like a Devin Booker they could go after. Or they could come back next season and keep building this core up and continuing to build the culture in Houston. I love Sengun. I love Amen Thompson. I love Tyrese Easton. He's really good for them as a defensive anchor, a guy who can guard at the wing position and just make it tough on you. So defensively, Houston is heading in the right direction. And I think offensively, they'll only get better because it's a young basketball team. I think Sangoon is going to take another leap. We're just waiting for Jalen Green to be more consistent, or maybe you trade him for a Devin Booker because now you upgrade at the shooting guard position. You have an established superstar, and you build around Booker, Sangoon, Amen Thompson, and you go from there. Houston has a lot of options here. They can go in different directions. They got draft capital. They can go after a guy like Giannis if they want to. So, again, Ime has been fantastic. He's been the perfect coach to really turn things around for the Houston Rockets. So I could see them securing the second seed. I know it's not going to be easy. They got some tough games down the stretch. But as long as they keep playing good basketball and they close out the season strong, have a good show in the playoffs, this team is only going to get better and they're going to be on the rise for next season. And I just love what I see out of Amen Thompson because, my goodness, the guy can play defense like no other. And the scary part is Amen missed 6 games this month already, and it's like they didn't miss a beat. And that's what's impressive because it's a young basketball team. And the thing is, Amen Thompson has missed 6 games this month already, and they went on this winning streak without him. So imagine when he's healthier, they have him out there, and as he grows as a basketball player, the sky's the limit in Houston. Should Ime be a candidate for coach of the year? Absolutely. Do I think he's going to win it? No, but I do think he deserves some flowers. There's no doubt about it. Especially if they perform well in the playoffs. I think they will because I just trust this blend of talent. I know, Jalen Green can be on and off, but I think Houston's going to show out big time in the playoffs. I think they're going to surprise a lot of people. They're going to fight. And I wouldn't be surprised if they do make the Western Conference Finals. I know that might be a stretch. Some people are just brushing them off because they struggle in the half court, and that's a valid reason. But young teams can surprise you. They've got the vets to keep people steady. And as long as they're healthy, and their defense is playing up to par and they get contributions around this roster, Houston's going to be a tough out. And then you go into this offseason, you just got to figure out your direction here. Obviously, Sangoon is part of the cornerstone of Ime Thompson, but what about Jalen Green? Do you keep him around, especially if Devin Booker becomes available? I would not trade anybody for Kevin Durant because he's an older superstar. I'm probably not going to trade for Giannis because he's going to cost too much, even though he would be really good for Houston. I just think you have to give up a lot of your depth. So the one guy I'm targeting if I'm Houston, Devin Booker. He fits really well in this roster. You give up Jalen Green for Devin Booker, you're upgrading at that position. I know Jalen Green is younger, but Booker is more consistent at this stage of their careers. And that's not a shot at Jalen Green. It might be just the fit in Houston. Maybe he needs a new change of scenery. I don't know. But if you want to hang on to him and see how he does next season, I've got no problem with that whatsoever. But whatever happens, Ime has been fantastic. He's one of the best coaches in the NBA. The way he's gotten Houston to be, an elite defense so quickly is just impressive. And he's got a man looking like, the best perimeter defender, in my opinion, in the NBA. And if he gets to another level on offense, you're going to look at Ime and go, man, this guy is just great. I mean, it's obvious at this point, if Ime was coaching the Celtics, they would have won the championship. There's just no doubt about it. Because the way they played defense in 2022 was scary stuff. And I think if he was there in 2023, they probably would have won it all. I know that's a stretch because you had Denver in the West, but at the end of the day, Ime was not playing games. He's got Houston heading in the right direction. So I just want to show flowers to Ime Udoka because he's been so good for them, and I'm happy for his success. And I think it's only going to get better for Houston from here on out. Hope you guys enjoyed this video today. I'd love to hear your thoughts about the coaching of Ime Udoka this season. Where do you think the Rockets end up in the playoffs, and what should they do this offseason to improve this roster? Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next one.